Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to GST's YQMA episode number 13. I'm Ryan Miller and I'm checking in with a question from a long-term client of mine. His name is Rafael and he is wondering how to hit all heads of his triceps and all heads of his biceps. Okay, let's get right into this answer. I want to knock out this answer for you, Rafa, and give you the best exercises possible to get the job done. Now, let's start with the biceps. The biceps have two heads. You have the long and the short head. The long head is what you see when you look at a person and they have really thick looking biceps from the front. You can be rest assured that their long head of the biceps is very well developed. If you look at a person from the side and their arms look huge and they have a really nice bicep peak, that tells you that their short head is extremely well developed. Now, the goal is obviously to have well developed biceps all around, and so in order to do that, I'm going to give you the best exercises for getting that job done. So let's start with the short head. Now, the short head is going to get hit hard during any movement where your upper arms are kept close to your body, or I should say your elbows are kept close to your body, or even a little bit behind your body as well. So as an example, the incline dumbbell curl or standing barbell curl, those exercises keep your arms either next to you or slightly behind you. And that really focuses the work in on that short head of the biceps. You should really be able to feel a strong flex in the peak of your biceps during either one of those exercises. Now, some other exercises to target that short head are also going to be your standing dumbbell hammer curls, different cable curl variations where your elbows are kept next to you, even the barbell drag curl where your elbows are pulled behind you and the barbell is literally against your body on the way up and down. Those are very, very, very good exercises for hitting that short head of the biceps. Now, the long head, this also just ties into having a well-rounded bicep routine where you have variety in the foundational position of each bicep movement. So let's take the arms away from the body, whereas in a preacher curl, your elbows are well out in front of your body. Also, the same thing goes for a spider curl or a preacher curl cable stack machine. All of those exercises pull your elbows out in front of your body, away from your body. And what that does is it puts more emphasis on the long head versus those exercises where your elbows are tucked tight or even pulled back behind you. So it's important that you see that that's a different foundational starting position, and that is how you can change the emphasis between the long and the short head of the bicep. So what I recommend is definitely including some of the bigger bicep movements, which I like to call bigger bicep movements at least, like the standing barbell curl or the dumbbell hammer curl. Those are large, they aren't compound movements, but they're about as compound as it's going to get for bicep work, just because they do allow for a little body momentum, and that can help with some controlled cheating when the time is right. So I like to begin with short head work, and that would be the standing barbell curl or the standing dumbbell curl. Those are my two highest quality short head mass builders. And then after that, you can move on to some long head work, which is, it's more fixed. So you're stuck in a preacher curl machine or you're stuck on a spider curl machine, and that really just relies on the long head and also the short head, but the long head is emphasized more in these cases. So think about those recommendations and how you can put them to use. Obviously, Rafael, I do your programming, and I can tell that now you're probably going to want to have a little more arm work just after this video. So shoot me an email and we can work that in together. Now, your tricep work, your triceps have three heads each. Okay, you have the long head, which is the bulk of your tricep. It's the long head for a reason. It runs down from your shoulder, the back of your shoulder, to your elbow, and it's the bulk of the tricep muscle group. And then you have the medial head, which is buried deeper within. It's not as visual, but keeping it strong and sizable still adds to overall tricep size and strength. And then you have your lateral head, which is the most outer part of your tricep. If you looked at somebody from the front and you saw that bump on the outer part of their tricep, that's the lateral head. Okay, so when you train your triceps, it's important to start with a compound movement, such as dips or a close grip bench press. Those two exercises are really going to hit the long head of the triceps hard, and you can also pile on the most weight with those. You can really get a lot of stress on those triceps through dips and close grip bench pressing. Now, other exercises that are going to hit that long head also include skull crushers. That's another solid tricep extension movement. And a lot of people are fans of overhead tricep extensions for really hitting that long head. What that does, it really provides a nice stretch as well, because you're in a very stretched position when your arms are over your head and fully bent. You're in a very stretched tricep position. A lot of people like that, and overhead extensions do really incorporate that long head. If it was up to me and I had a choice, I would choose either dips or close grip bench presses as my first two, followed by skull crushers, and followed by overhead tricep extensions. And that just comes down to my love for more compound movements over isolation movements when it comes to really building up the most mass. Now, as you get more technical with your tricep training and you want to focus in on that lateral head, which is also important. I mean, you want that lateral head to look big and be strong, okay? And the lateral head can be targeted by more of those, what most people would consider like etching or detailing exercises, such as tricep kickbacks with dumbbells, single arm press downs with a rope, double arm press downs with a rope, and even a single arm press down or a double arm press down with an underhand grip, which you don't see too often. But there was a time where I did single arm press downs with the rope, with an overhand grip, and with an underhand grip, and I couldn't complain about my tricep size. I mean, I was hitting that from all angles, single arm, and it was working very well for me. So to hit that lateral head, try to use those etching exercises, those exercises that really allow you to mentally feel that lateral head working, and those are going to fall under the category of that single arm work with a rope, or an underhand grip, or rope press downs, or tricep kickbacks. And obviously there's going to be some that I'm missing. There's a lot of different variations on exercises, and some that I'm just not going to be able to think of right now. But they're out there, and you know, you can always ask me if you find an exercise, what does that work? Should I incorporate it? Just shoot those questions my way, and you know I'll get you taken care of. So when it comes to tricep work, the medial head, that is a head of the triceps that you're not really going to be able to focus directly on. The fact is that the medial head works hard with any long head work, and so you really don't have to set aside exercises focused on your medial head of your triceps. So the advice that I gave you on the long head and the lateral head, that's going to cover the medial head as well. Now, when it comes to sets and reps, everybody knows that I'm a fan of multiple set rep schemes. Each set rep scheme has its benefits for you, and you're going to get a nice amount of growth, strength, and metabolic stress through using low rep heavy weight, medium rep medium weight, and high rep low weight set rep schemes. When it comes to choosing the right set rep schemes, the more compound movements, they can go through all three. More isolation movements where the joints are a little more at risk, or just one muscle group is working, I find that those are best to just take through the medium set or medium rep, medium weight, and low weight, high rep set rep schemes, just because it's a little more risky to run certain isolation movements and non-compound movements through that heavy weight, low rep scheme. That rep scheme is suited more towards large compound movements, working multiple muscle groups at the same time. So that's something that you need to consider. And also, when it comes down to it, just ask me the question and I will give you my specific answer for that specific exercise on what set rep scheme to use. Okay, Rafa, you have been training with me for a long time right now. It's been coming up on 6 years, I believe. So I have to give you a huge thanks. You were actually my very first online client, believe it or not, and you've been with me ever since. So Rafa is a awesome example of somebody that wants to keep training in their life. He sees the value in quality coaching, and he has just made it a part of his lifestyle through job changes, moves. He is on his second child right now with his wife, and he's just a good example of somebody that keeps nutrition and training in their life no matter what, and it's because he loves it, and it's because it can be done. You don't have to sacrifice your health and your activity just because you get busy. I wanted to point this out because Rafael is a real person, and real people with real lives can get this stuff done, and you can get this stuff done too. So don't let busyness break your cycle of eating well and training hard. Okay, everybody, it's Wednesday afternoon. That means there's a couple more days to your work week. Finish up strong. Keep your training and nutrition in check. Don't be afraid to ask me any questions you have. I'm telling you, I'm passionate about training and nutrition. And when you're passionate about something, you feel the need to spread that knowledge. And all I want to do through these YQMA videos is look at your questions and spread knowledge through my answers. So make sure you keep those questions coming in, and I'll make sure to keep answering them. You guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll be hitting you back tomorrow with some more questions on exercise, form, and tips. And other than that, thank you for watching.